Hey Bayek, it's me Ian. And in today's video, well, I'm continuing my look at the third and fourth Doctors. Yes, classic Doctor Who. Brilliant, fantastic. You just gotta love it. And this is Horror of Fang Rock from 1977. A classic fourth Doctor story. This was transmitted on the 3rd to the 24th of September 1977, and it's in 4 parts. And it is the first story of season 15. Yes. And it's written by Terrance Dicks, who is it's just wonderful. One of the great, truly great writers of Doctor Who. You've just got to love Terrance Dicks. Now, apparently, originally, he put in a story called The Vampire Mutations, but they said, well, the BBC is showing Dracula, and they don't really want to interfere with that by doing a vampire story. But in 1980, he did another one, and well, it was based probably on that one, which was State of Decay, which was another fourth Doctor story. So the vampire theme does come eventually. But this is about lighthouses. Yes, that's what they suggested. Oh, why not do one with a lighthouse? And I thought, hey, what a great idea that is. And it is. It's a wonderful idea. I love lighthouses. You can't beat a bit of lighthouse, can you? Now, of course, we've got the script editor as Robert Holmes. Again, the wonderful Robert Holmes. And it's also produced. This time we've got Graham Williams now just beginning to settle into the role as the new producer. And this one is directed by Paddy Russell, or Patricia Russell. She was known as Paddy Russell, what is Patricia Russell, and she was a wonderful servant to Doctor Who, and one of the very few female directors that came up. And you know, there's not a great deal of female directors, particularly in this period of time. But she was one that had come through. And she was the director of The Massacre of St. Bartholomew's Eve, 1966, first Doctor story. She also directed Invasion of the Dinosaurs, 1974. That's the John Pertwee story in his last season. And she directed the classic Pyramids of Mars from 1975, fourth Doctor story. That is one of the classic stories. She directed that. So she's comfortable, she knows Doctor Who, and here she is, and she does another great job. Now, the cast, of course, will go into Tom Baker, fourth Doctor, brilliant, and Louise Jameson as Leela, and Louise Jameson is fantastic now in this role. She's great. She's comfortable. She's really good. You can't help but enjoy her as well. Just great. So let's go into the rest of the cast. We've got John Habert, who plays Vince. The most feature film that stands out that he was in. Most of these are television people, but he was in 4 Weddings and a Funeral, 1994. But then just a whole stack of TV things. Yes, massive of that. Then we had Colin Douglas playing Reuben. He was in The Enemy of the World, 1967 to 1968, which is a season 5. Second Doctor story, which we now have complete in the archive. For quite a long time, that was not available, but it was one of the last ones, unfortunately going back a bit now, that was discovered. But yeah, we've got complete story of that from the Second Doctor, which is great. And he basically is a TV actor, goes right back, in fact, to 1948, and just done loads of TV things. Then we've got Sean Caffrey playing Lord Palmerdale. The two films that stand out that he was in are The Viking Queen, 1967, and When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth from 1970. Both absolute classic Hammer productions. Yes, these, when Hammer were doing not just the gothic horror, but doing these kind of features. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And again, he's another one, just lots of TV. Then we've got Alan Rowe playing Skinsdale. He was in The Moon Base, 1967. Second Doctor, brilliant story. Unfortunately, 2 episodes of that are missing. The Time Warrior. Oh, I love Time Warrior. 1974. John Pertwee, the one that introduces to Sarah Jane. And also Full Circle, 1980, with Tom Baker on that one. I think that's the one. I think that's a series of one. I think Adric. I've got a feeling Adric is introduced in Full Circle. Yeah. Then we've got Ralph Watson playing Ben. He was in The Underwater Menace. Yes, again, that's another that's not got the full episodes. Second Doctor story from 1968. Also, he was in The Web of Fear, 1968, the same year. Yes, that's a brilliant story. And then he was in The Monster of Peladon, 1974. John Pertwee's last season. Fantastic. Again, it's same again, lots of TV things. And then we've got Annette Woolett, who plays Adelaide, who really I couldn't find much. A few TV series, but that's it. It's sort of, I don't know any more about it. They didn't seem to have anything where I looked about her, so that's all I know. And she's in this. Right. Now, a few more things. This was filmed at Pebble Mill Studios because there were some engineering works going on at the normal BBC studios. So they went to Pebble Mill in Birmingham and filmed it there, which is great. Now, elements of this are based on the poem Flannan Isle by William Wilson Gibson, which was inspired, now this is fascinating, by the disappearance of 3 lighthouse keepers from Flannan Isles in 1900. Wow, that immediately makes you think, wow, your imagination, and you can see what happened with that. What happened to these 3 lighthouse keepers? It's I love it. This is where you get these great stories from, and obviously Terrence Dicks was inspired by that. But it's interesting that it is based on that kind of true story. Okay, so what's it about, you're saying? Well, the TARDIS lands with Doctor and Leela on Fang Rock, which is an isolated island with a lighthouse on it. Yes, a lighthouse. And we see this light that crashes into the sea, which they think could be a comet, could be a meteorite, but of course we know it's not going to be one of those. You always know it's not going to be, but yes, that's what they think. And this causes the electric power to be cut off and affected. And then this fog. Oh, yes, you've got to have fog. It's like the horror part almost. The fog descends. Oh, yes. I can't help thinking of the wonderful film The Fog by John Carpenter's. Oh, yeah, John Carpenter's The Fog. Anyhow, I'm going off again, but I got inspired thinking about that. But it's a great basis for anything, The Fog, isn't it? Yeah, and you think of Jack the Ripper and all that kind of thing with London. And, oh, yes, I'm going off again, but that's what I get. Anyway, it's really good. And we get the death of the one of the lighthouse keeper, and then this continues. The Doctor and Leela come into it, and the Doctor even admits in this story that he got something wrong, which doesn't always happen, but yes, he did. He said he got this wrong. We discover, in fact, that it's the Routons, and we've heard that name mentioned before, but it was a great chance to bring something extra by actually bringing them into the program. The reason we heard them before, because they've been a long war with the Sontanans. Yes, brilliant, isn't it? So we get to see them, and of course, like they always do, think, hey, by the Earth will use that as a strategic base, so they're testing it out again, just like the Sontanans was testing it out. Amazing, isn't it? What they all do, as usual. And that's how it is. This is the introduction to the Routons. It's wonderful stuff, isn't it? And it is. I mean, this story, you know, as a studio-based story, is just fantastic. It's and also some people have criticised the effects. I can see why they would do, wouldn't they? But look, you spend millions, Disney do, on latest Doctor Who, and what do you get? Yeah, exactly. And this, well, it's proper stuff, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's great. The story's just so full of atmosphere. It's a great story. I love it. This is the wonderful period of Doctor Who where they're really just all the resources and imagination they're putting in, and it's paying off. And it's so popular. The ratings, everybody loves Doctor Who, and this is it. It's real height now. It really is. And here we are with some great storytelling, and it proves it again. You don't need all these stacks of money. All you need is a good script and a good willing set of people around you who just want to tell a story and do it in the best way possible. That's all you need. It's simple, actually, but why people complicate it, I do not know. I really don't. You know, and it's fun. It's wonderful. It's entertaining. And also it's scary as well in this. You can do scary stories as well. And that's brilliant. Even though Mary Whitehouse wasn't always as keen. But this is great. And I sound like I'm preaching, but I absolutely love this period. And these stories are they're great. Absolutely great. And that's it. I totally recommend this. If you've never seen this, you know, you really should watch. We should be watching all these. The good news is that, because I'm just going to, well, I'll get there in a second what this good news is. But it was released on VHS in 1998, and then in 2005, we have got this DVD release. But the good news is that this year, in 2024, it's coming out in the Doctor Who collection very soon. So it's going to go into Blu-ray, and we're getting this whole season 15, in the Doctor Who collection. Wow. Exciting, isn't it? It is exciting. I can't wait. I can't wait, really. Yes. I can't. Anyhow, just before I go, there it is. Wonderful. You've probably seen it anyhow outside, but there they have. There's some extras there. So there's a great thing with Terrance Dicks in here, which is a kind of a really nice tribute when you look back now at it. That is wonderful. And there we've got the usual leaflet with all the bits of information on there. But yeah, this is great. Absolutely love it. And highly recommended, as all these stories are. But that's it. I've finished. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and have a look at my playlist, and then you can see the kind of things that I do and do all sorts of things. A lot of it is nostalgia based, are true, but I do all sorts. Just have a look. And you might like it, you might not. If you don't, but if you like this video, please give it a like, because then it gets it out onto YouTube and to algorithms and all that kind of thing. Hopefully other people might enjoy it, or they won't. I don't know, but hey, if you've got any comments, please put your comments down. I love to read your comments. And that's it, really. Yes, it all costs a note. By heck, it does. So all I gotta say is, I'll see you again.